Great. Okay, so hi everybody. I'm Ata Latoy with Crystal Life Technology, and we've been in business for 25 years. The premise of my business has always been to create functional gemstone objects for people to use in their everyday life. I believe very firmly in the ability of stones to serve as good friends and good help. So this is one of our talks about it, and I will be doing the, let's see, we are going to share and come into designing your own energy pendant. Now, these are some of the combinations that we've put together, and what we've done is created inexpensive ways that you can put together your own mineral energy, drawing from an inexpensive array of symbols, stones, and stone shapes. So this is going to be especially significant for people who are sensitive to energy. And it's a system I developed for myself many years ago, and then began providing it to others. And that was the start of our company, Crystal Life Technology. And it's a core principle of how we work. That is, we want you all to be self-sufficient and able to free will choose how you wish your pendants and your energy to look. The premise is this: we humans are composed of frequencies that take solid form as heart, liver, eyes, mind, and so on. And to get healthy or remain healthy, these frequencies need to resonate properly. When they don't, we experience lower energy or illness. So getting and staying healthy has many components, such as exercise, good food, and surveying and adjusting our surroundings, our homes, clothes, and personal care. Stones provide a stable field of frequency that our body can resonate with, absorb, and assimilate. The issue is, how can we keep stones on us or around us to accomplish this? And what stones do that? So we can keep specimens near us when we work, live, or sleep. We can put stones in our pockets and carry with us. These ways are not easily mobile, so I looked around for creating items you could wear. And that started out with creating things like bracelets of different kinds. Now, the issue with bracelets and all of the other types of jewelry is that you can wear one type of a set design, either a plain design or a pattern, but you don't have the freedom to change them around. If you wanted, for instance, to take a rose quartz and one day combine it with a smoky quartz in order to bring some love and compassion for you when you're feeling sad. And another time you might want to combine rose quartz with amethyst because you wanted to bring some wisdom into your love. And I wanted to have the freedom to do that without having to, frankly, break the budget for myself or for my customers. So at first, what I did was work to create inexpensive ways that you could carry one frequency around you, and you could bulk them up, such as here, and do a combination. And we provided necklaces of different kinds and energy pendants that are made with a special ceramic, and earrings. Then we went into looking at ways that we could combine and make general frequencies. For instance, this is a moss agate pendant that has a carnelian in the middle and a rainbow fluorite on top, so that you could resonate with the fairy energies. And then we thought, well, let's do a way where we combine a chain with a jump ring, and you can attach these different stones and get the frequencies that way. And then we realized that really what we wanted to do was we wanted to combine ways that you could take pendants individually, and you could work with them and carry them on your neck. So for those of you who can't wrap, I wrap this image of Ganesh on a stone. But for those of you who can, or you want something you can change every day, we went to taking beads of different kinds and putting them on jump rings so that we could pass those frequencies on to our customers. And that would be showing you you could put your beads, your pendants onto gemstone pendants themselves, and this is a 4 millimeter. The other way that you could do it is you could put your pendants on silver chain, and you also could put your pendants on different cords. And so we supply all kinds of different cords, either 100% silk over here, or the various kinds that have a clasp on it. And we also felt that when you're designing your own energy pendant, a lot of you have stones that you particularly like, or you can't find the pendant, the stone as a pendant, but you can find it as a tumbled stone. So we began carrying these coils that you can put a stone into, and that enables you to wear your stone if you're not wearing pockets. The only issue with that is that usually you need 1 coil per stone. You can get them in and out, but they lose their flexibility a bit. So now those are the basics. Now we're going to get in, how are you actually going to assemble your own energy pendant? Well, on our website, we have hundreds, literally thousands of different combinations of stones and geometrics and images. Frankly, I never met a stone I didn't like, which makes it hard when I go shopping for you guys. I always find another stone. But there are some ways that you can decide what you want to do. And I'm going to take you in to our website and review with you how you can select the stones that you want to put in your pendants. Now, you can do it a number of ways, and we have a very large library that I really recommend you guys use. And in there, we have a section, all of these are all rooms with information. But in here, there's a crystal and gemstone dictionary. And in here, you have a list of all of this, a lot of different stones that you can, if you dowse, or if you, however you sense the stones you need, you can just go down visually through all of this whole list. Just keep going down. And let's say you decided that you wanted to use epidote as a stone in your pendant. You can click on here. Let's see. And in here, we have all the information that you would need. The folklore about it, what it does, how epidote enhances perception, the geology, the chakra association, the care. So if you're out designing your own energy pendant that you want for a specific function, either you want help to strengthen your emotions, to de-stress yourself, to work on strengthening your eyes, all of these things, you can go into our website and you can look through. And also here, if you need some help, we have a chat function, and you just type in what you want, and we have staff that during store hours will respond to you and help you if you have a question. So let's say you want epidote for spiritual attunement, and you're thinking, what else could it be? Well, you could always just write into our customer support and ask for their suggestions. I'll just close that out here. Now, when you are looking at how you want to assemble your own, let's see, come on, let's go. We'll get back into, all right. When you're looking at how you want to assemble your own stones, you can also go into Pendants in an overview. And let's see, we're coming up. Things are going a little slowly there. And on the side, if you look, there are all kinds of pendants that you can use when you're designing your pendant. We have all these gemstones by the type. And then we have nature pendants, chakra and sacred geometry, and themed pendants. So when you are setting out and thinking, what do you want to combine? We have all the resources here. Now what are the basic principles? All right, let's go into this other one. The basic principles are pretty much actually anything that you like, you can combine. But when you're starting out, if you want to get an array, and we recommend that you switch things around, you know, that you take your pendant and one day put quartzes on it, another day put agates on it, combine them and feel the difference. When you're assembling your energy pendant, it's very important that you start by knowing what each of the stones do and how they feel for you. So we recommend that you might take, for instance, this clear quartz, and you might wear this by itself for a day or two, and then you get the feeling for what quartz is, how it feels to you, how it works with your energy field. Then you take that off, and you might then go to a citrine. A citrine is for joy and prosperity and for lightness and sun. And then you wear that for a few days and you feel how that is in your energy field. Then you might go, these are all quartzes, and I recommend that when you start out designing your energy pendant, that first thing that you work with is the quartz. And the quartz comes in clear, citrine, amethyst, adventurine, rose quartz, smoky quartz. All of these stones have a molecular structure that is the star tetrahedron. And the star tetrahedron is the core geometric of the universe, from which the core of the universe opens up and expands. And it goes this way, and it goes the two triangles facing each other. And that is an continual expansion of energy. So when you're tailoring the geometrics of the quartz with the quality of the minerals that make the different colors, then you're going to get different frequencies for yourself. So amethyst here, that's for wisdom. The adventuring or green quartz is for new health, new growth, health. Very good to have when you're time like now. Rose quartz for love and compassion. And smoky quartz to help with sadness and depression, removes that. And the other one that you might want to start out with then is the carnelian. And carnelian is one of the agates. Any of the agates would be next in my choice. They're all very grounding. They help you to be stable. So the quartzes are balancing and expanding in different ranges of energy, and the agates are grounding you in a particular frequency. After that, what you might want to do is go into our gemstone dictionary and start reading and looking for other qualities that you'd like to combine. Or I believe that if you, for some of you, you can just look at the photo and you can tell. And some of you can look at the photo on the website, hold your finger to it if you do dowsing, and then you dowse with your pendulum and ask, is this the pendant that I need? Is this the stone I need for my combination? Once you've selected your stones, and I recommend 3 stones to start with, which you're going to sit with each one at a time. A lot of people resonate with sacred geometry. And sacred geometry is what the life force of the universe looks like if you graft it. So people who can see light fields as they coalesce from the unmanifest and they come out, and the unmanifest light starts to figure out what it wants to do. It starts creating lines and opening up and expanding. And people see that as it's come from unmanifest and it's coming down to the physical, and that's sacred geometry. So this is a core geometric. It's called the flower of life. If you look at the middle, there's a circle in the middle, there's a point in the middle, and it starts opening up into ever increasing circles as it goes out infinitely into the universe. So when you're wearing a piece of sacred geometry, what you're doing is getting your energy field to resonate with the sacred geometry. Now, what happens when you take a piece of sacred geometry and you add in a stone? Well, what you do, if you put a pendant together with the flower of life and say amethyst, then you would be tailoring your energy field to resonate with the wisdom of the amethyst. And you would be taking that frequency, combining it with the universe sending energy out to tailor, let me expand energy throughout my field in a stable way. So a flower of life or any of these basic forms, if you combine a stone with it, it tailors the frequency to do a certain type of action. You also can use the symbols for the chakras, and that's another type of sacred geometry. This is for the throat. And when you take a piece of a chakra item and you add a stone onto it, you're further tailoring the product, the qualities of the chakra. The other way that you can work when you're working to combine your pendants is to work with sacred images. Now, sacred images are what happens when light comes from the unmanifest, it comes into the sacred geometry, and then it further tailors itself to come nearer the physical into a subtle form that it's, a lot of them are called fire letters, fire images, and they represent a universal type of energy that is accessible to us via this form. So these are ankhs, and these were first used in ancient Egypt. This is actually a tool that people would hold here. You'll see it in all the old temple drawings where the king is holding this and directing the energy, and it's an energy generator that directs energy out, and it's supposed to help with eternal life. So this concept of eternal life was then moved over and adopted by the Coptic Christians as a symbol for the cross. So for those practicing Christianity, that would have a further symbol to connect you to the Christ energy and to universal life, eternal life. And this is another symbol that would be Christian for the cross. It's also a sacred geometry form representing the 4 directions. And when you're using this symbol in with your stones, you're getting not only the religious connotations of billions of people having practiced this, but you're also getting the native traditions with the 4 corners. And in virtually all of the traditions around the world, they use the symbol of a cross to represent the 4 directions and above and below. And it's a solid energy form. Now, another thing that you could add in with your pendants, and I'm bringing this up because you should be aware that whatever you're wearing and keeping around you is affecting your energy field. So when you buy clothes or you put together jewelry, if you get something that has a lot of frenetic energy, your own energy is going to become frenetic just from identification with that image and those colors. Similarly, if you wear around you, for instance, suppose your totem was the owl. Well, here's a wonderful abstract African style owl that you can put on with your other stones, and you would then be resonating with the owl energy. You might want to put it on, for instance, with a hematite for seeing into the darkness, and might put it on with a rhodonite for love and compassion and strength, no matter what the situation is. And then there are a special ceramic that we were very lucky to find. These are based on ancient Egyptian faience, and it's called a crystal catalyst. And the color comes from the minerals in it, and it's been formed and grown and fired in a specific way, so that when you add the energy into a pendant, it is resonating, helping your stones to resonate to a particular need. For instance, this would be general health, this turquoise here. And it also clears your jewelry. So at night you can put it in with your jewels and it will clear them for you. So this is basically would you be taking all of these items and you'd be creating these wonderful creations. Each of these combinations are for different reasons. This one would be a lotus, which is sacred in the Far Eastern traditions, combined with a citrine and a peridot, and that would be protecting your energy field and bringing sunlight into it. Lotus is a symbol for the eternal energies. And here you could be using, and here we're using the silk. That's what it would look like on silk. Here we're using a necklace with 4mm beads, and the items fit over that. And here we're using a cloth cord, and you have the items fitting over this. So I want to stop the share for a minute, and I want to show you what happens if you like your pendant. All of our pendants come with jump rings. And this is so that, for instance, say you didn't want a 4mm necklace, you wanted to put it on a beaded necklace that had 8mm. Well, you can take our these jump rings, and you can simply open up the jump ring, put it on the bead and then close it back up again, if you can't get it over the end fixture. Now, I wanted to show people how to do this. And that is, you don't pull the jump ring apart, you turn it. See how I've turned it? And then you turn it, once it's on, you turn it back. But when you turn it back, you want to make sure that right here is where the hole is, where the two ends come together. Make sure that you have that end closed. Otherwise, if you then put it on a chain, it could slip off. So it's called metal to metal when you're talking jewelry talk. All right, again, that's, if you want to put it on something thick, turn it like this, and then you turn it back. All right. Now, I want to go back and show you here. We can share screen. There we go. When you are working with gemstone pendants, it's very important that you keep their energy clear. Often, on occasion, we've had come into the store customers who say, this stone doesn't work. It worked when I first got it, but it doesn't work anymore. What's the problem? And I'll look at it and I'll see, oh my goodness, they've been wearing it for a year and they never once thought to give it a shower. So stones are living life forms, and they need R&R, so they need to sometimes be retired and let rest, and they need to be showered and cleaned. And so we recommend that when you're using gemstone jewelry, every once in a while, you shift it to give the pendant a break. And at night, or when you're shifting it, put it on someplace to rest and restore itself. And so here are a couple of stones that would be useful for you to have in your collection. This is apophyllite. Apophyllite has a very light, airy feeling about it, and that would be very good for you to put on. And all right. Next is kyanite. Now, all of these stones are stones that are self-clearing, so they don't need to be cleared themselves, but they are friendly stones and they like to have company. So if you just take a pendant and you put it up in here somewhere and you leave it overnight, it helps the stone and it helps your pendant. So kyanite is very good for clearing the body energies out of the stone as it's been working. You can't beat quartz crystal. Quartz is the king of the stones. It's used by shamans forever. And it's a very, very good way for you to put a stone in here and let it recover. And another way is selenite. And selenite, like kyanite, is taking the body's fluids and meridians, and it just kind of smooths them all out. So when the stone's been helping you, and how stones work is they like to coordinate and balance the energies around them. So if you come in and you, for instance, take rose quartz, it's for compassion and love, and you're having a difficult time, it's working really hard, and that kind of, it pulls in from you the imbalance in order to balance you. And then what you need to do is to release that energy, and you can do that by putting it on something like selenite. You also could, I don't recommend you taking your jewelry and putting it on sea salt, which is what we recommend for specimens, because jewelry has, the stones have been polished, and the salt can eat away at it. So, and it also, if you put it out in a thunderstorm, like we recommend for specimens, that can affect the polish as well. So we recommend that you use one of these stones. So I wanted to show you here, this is what our sales room looks like. If you go in here, it's up in sales, and click on that, and you will see hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of pendants that you can get, and these are all half price. So that's a very good a bargain for you. And there we are, and that's about an explanation of how to design your own energy pendant. And now I will ask Laura if you have any questions there that we have. And anybody has any questions in this process, please ask them now. This is the time.
We do have one question from Steve.
All right.
He's looking for, he wants to know what 3 stones you would recommend for a breakthrough in his acting career, or sacred geometry, either one.
What 3 stones a breakthrough in your acting career? Well, now that's not as simple as it sounds, Steve, because it depends upon what kind of acting you're doing, and what your own energy is like, and how you want to proceed with it. If you have anything further you want to specify in that, please do so. Otherwise, I would recommend you use a hematite, and hematite helps you to stay secure in yourself when you're presenting. It's often called the lawyer stone. So if you're out doing a, applying for the acting, you're at a, whatever they're called, you need to have that strength of character, and you'd use the hematite. I would also use a rhodonite, and a rhodonite helps you to be strong in love and confident of yourself and your ability to be who you are, to love yourself, and to be in that state when you're performing. And the other one would be, let's see, we have hematite, rhodonite, and tiger eye. And a tiger eye, because the tiger eye is for grounded good luck, grounded prosperity, and it has some iron in it, so it helps you to ground yourself when you're working to be other people and working through all those facilities. So I'd use those 3. I think that's sufficient. If you wanted, yeah, I wouldn't even bother with this geometry. I'd use one of those. Okay. All right.
We have someone asking about stones for a child, but there's no specific. Bindu, do you want to expand on that? What kind of issues is the child having? Maybe they'll answer that, and we'll go on to the next one.
Okay.
What about stones for to boost immunity?
Oh, all right. So the stones to boost the immunity, first you want to go into our energy pendant area. And let me just show you that. I'm going to take you in here. And because I actually started my company because I had immune system issues with EMF. And so we have a very, very large area of energy jewelry and products. And what you want to do is get one of these stones here. Now, depending upon how polluted, quote, polluted you are right now, if you're really affected, your immune system's really bad, you need to go down with our white piece. See if we got here, this piece bead. And this ceramic, it resonates with the frequency of peace, but it also protects you from EMF and the various electrical energies around. If you are a little bit stronger, you can use either the turquoise or the blue in any of our beads there, because what they do is they sustain your energy field, and they send a frequency that goes out, and it protects you. It's called a paramagnetic field. You are protected, but you're not affecting the computers and the general pollution that's needs to pass through you. So that is the very best way. I am so grateful for this line. We make this jewelry ourselves, but the actual bead comes from a colleague of ours who's a ceramic scientist and archaeologist. And it came out of the fact that one of their friends brought them back a piece of faience, a faience bead from an archaeological dig in Egypt. And when she put it on, her lungs that had been bothering her just opened up and felt good. So that is what I would recommend. And then you can combine that with any other items, stones you want. You know, we have a chakra bracelets that use this. This is very good to balance out your energy. And if you're a strong person, you can use the dynamic chakra, which is what I have on here. Or if you're a gentler person, you can use the turquoise bead. All right, so yeah, I really like that. Okay.
Okay, so the one asking for suggestions for the child, he's having trouble listening, he's very headstrong, and he's also seems to be very worried.
Okay. Okay. And by the way, where I'm talking from, this is my area where I do my computer printing for all my my photography and the cards on the site and the photos for the website. So talking to you from that room. When a child is not comfortable with himself is when they misbehave. So you're talking about how the child is worried all the time. So we would, let's see. If it's a little boy, and can you just say how old? Can that come up or not?
10 years old.
10 years old. All right. So one good thing for him to do is you could make a little tie for his book bag that has the black protection bead and those energy bead area that I was showing you. And what that does is that his book bag is something he carries with him all day around school. It gives an aura of protection that helps protect from people bullying him or him wanting to bully other people. And I'd get some items that you could put underneath his bed at night. Actually, we have an area in our website that is, let me go in here, that's the slim spurling rings. And what they do is they balance your energy. So anything that you can do to get him out, you know, participating in sports or walking in the woods. But if you come in here down to, let's see, intention, home style.
I think they're under space clearing.
Space clearing?
Pendulums and space clearing.
Thank you. Pendulums and space clearing.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. So in here, there are slim spurling products, and there are these copper rings. And what these slim spurling devices do, and they're amazing, and we love showing them to people because they don't believe a copper ring can do this, but it's the way they've been constructed and the size. If you get one of these, like a 1.5 or a 3, and you put it underneath his bed at night, that would help him to balance out when he's asleep. And the other thing you can do is, a lot of children who have a lot of nervous energy, they like to sit inside the 3.5 ring, and when they're in there, the energy balances out. In here, it's a full field, balanced field of energy, and that calms them down immediately. And I know one grandmother was telling us how her son, who has ADHD, when he would sit in here, he could do his alphabets and his work that he was too jazzed up to do when he was outside of it. So taking one of these and having you put it down over them, and then bring it up and then bring it down and let them sit inside it, and it calms them down very well. So there are a lot of subtle energy items that you could do for your son. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. We have someone who has a grandson who is in prison. Now, he has a medicine bag of stones that he's allowed to have, but how can he clean the stones in there?
Now that is a good question. That's interesting. He's allowed to have a medicine bag of stones.
Yep.
That's, yeah, because we provide prisons with these plastic, black plastic prayer beads that are allowed by the chaplains. The chaplains order for, can order for them. That would be very hard to do. I don't know much about prison. I know he could, I know what he could do. All right, here, let me come out of this, share. So in your palms, the palms of your hand, there's a chakra point, a portal, like a vortex here. And he could take the stones, and one at a time, at night when he's asleep, or and he brings his hands close together. And you kind of know this from any of you who've done Tai Chi or these. If you bring your hands like this, there's a certain point where you can feel the energy between the two palms coming together. And if he puts a stone, and this is just a general way that you can clear a stone if you're doing some work and you want to clear it to use it for another object. You bring your hand down. Do I have a stone around here? Okay. You bring your hand down like this, and you hold it, and you envision it clearing any debris out of it. You can feel it going out of the stone, and then you can take it up and clear them one by one. So that would be his best bet. The other thing he can do, if he is able to, is run the stones underneath running water. You could do that. Okay.
Okay.
Dope.
Let's see. Margo wants to know where to buy the Merkaba pendant you were wearing last time.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go back into share. And let's see. Share screen. That is another one of these amazing slim spurling items. And they work so well because of their construction. Let's see if we can find one here. Here. They're called Light Life Harmonizers. And they have, their construction is the mini of this, where it's these, the rings, 3 of them, and they are balancing the energy. There's a central core, this here, this spiral here, and a way that comes up and down through here that it cycles energy up and around and come down. So it's kind of like a torus, that the energy works to flow around. And so you come on to our website in the Light Life. They're not inexpensive because everything is geometrically accurately constructed. And it is very balanced. Here, I can show you this. There, that's what it looks like. Okay, all right. Okay, I think we are at the time we said we would finish. Is there one more question before we go?
Yeah, let's do one more. Someone's wondering about stones for kidney, diabetes, and EMF.
Kidneys and diabetes and EMF. Well, again, the kidneys and the diabetes, and that's all balancing out the blood system. And that is, I'm glad I figured out how to do all this. If you come into the home and lifestyle and you come down, oh wait, let's come over to jewelry, energy, jewelry, and products. And that is the ceramic beads that I was telling you about before. And you would want for the EMF to use any of these 5 colored beads, primarily the cobalt blue if you're not really feeling it, the turquoise if you're a gentle soul, the white if you are need peace and you're very polluted, and then there's also the protection, which is a blue black that I find very useful, and it protects you from negative energies coming towards you, and it also protects you from EMF. So now for the diabetes, I would recommend bloodstone, to wear bracelets of bloodstone or make a pendant using bloodstone, using maybe this protection bead here that goes on to pendants. And let's see. And maybe, let's see, those 2. And I'd put a little tiny geometric of the flower of life in there with them. And that would give you a very strong, powerful combination. Okay? All right. So there we go. We have covered a lot of the different ways that you can make your own energy pendants. And I suggest you go in and if you get into our pendants area, there's another video there about choosing the right pendants for you. And I really thank you all so much for attending these. It's been a lot of fun sharing what I've spent my life putting together and sharing it with people with a like mind. And I hope you're all healthy and well and enjoying what is for most of us the end of the COVID shutdown coming for Illinois on this Friday, the 29th, and we're looking forward to it. So thank you all very much, and we'll be seeing you around.
Thanks, everyone.